My name is Mattie M. Ballard, and I'm 93 years old.
Okay, Mrs. Battle, can you tell me when were you born, what year, and tell me where were you born?
I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, February the 3rd, 1927.
And tell me about your family. Did you have brothers and sisters? Do you remember your grandparents? And tell me about your parents.
No, I had brothers and sisters. It was 10 of us. It was 4 boys and 6 girls, and but all of them passed, and I'm the only one living. And my father's name is George Hudson. My mother was named Lonnie Hudson. And I came from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, do you remember your grandparents at all?
No, because my mother passed when I was 16 months old. And different one raised me. Some was my sisters, some was outside people that raised me. And when my mother passed, my father let me go to Indianapolis, Indiana, and I stayed with his niece. And I stayed there until I was 5, and I came back to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I was with my family when I came back then. And
So, what do you remember about Chattanooga, Tennessee? Did you live in the city? Did you live like in the rural areas in the country or
nope, I didn't live in the country. Everyone asked me about that. I didn't live in the country. I lived. It it was like, I know, because a lot of schools, and it wasn't in no country. And I walked to school, and I also went to Birmingham, Alabama, and I stayed there in Birmingham. My older sister lived in Birmingham.
so how old were you when you lived in Birmingham, Alabama?
Oh, I was young because I went to school. I went from the first, I think, into the third.
So do you remember about segregation back then? Do you remember that the water fountain said colored only or you couldn't go in the bathroom with the white people? Do you remember any of that or you were too young?
I was too young, but I remember uh, when you ride on the buses and the streetcars, they always wanted you had to sit in the back. You couldn't sit up in the front. You had to sit in the back. And but it was some good white people, and there was some bad ones.
So when you were in Birmingham, do you remember were you allowed to go to school with white
Yeah,
kids?
yeah. I went to school. The first was it was all black.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you couldn't go to school with white kids at first. But when you went back to Tennessee, where did you go to school
Yeah,
with white
well,
kids?
because I went to Birmingham twice. I went to Birmingham. I came home and I went back to Birmingham, and we lived in Pratt City, and that's like a big place. It wasn't no country place,
So
and
go
white
ahead.
and all lived
Hmm.
in Pratt City.
So was Pratt City near Birmingham? It was close
Yeah,
to
it's right
Birmingham.
off. Right.
Hmm. And so what did your sister do? What line of work did she do?
My sister, she didn't work. Her husband George, he worked in the mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he worked in the mine,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
she stayed at home.
Okay. So the second time you went to Birmingham, how old were you? Do you remember?
Mm, I think I'm around about 10 or 11.
Okay, so do you remember any discrimination or any civil rights issues or anything like that other than you couldn't sit on the front of the bus? Do you remember anything else when you lived in Alabama?
Oh, no, cause I used to have to go across the, when we went to school, sometimes we had to go across the trestle. If we watered down up under there, we'd go across the trestle. And we hear the street, we watch for the streetcar so we could start running so it won't catch us on that trestle, you know. And then it was a way that you could go on the water. It had rocks. You could drop across on them rocks, you know, and if you didn't want to go across the trestle. But I rather went across the trestle and go across in that water. And I was in Birmingham when they made the Tuxedo Junction, that song about the Tuxedo Junction. I was there because he was on the end of the belt line.
Sing a song for me, a little bit of the song.
Oh, about way down south in Birmingham. And it went like that.
Well, keep saying, keep singing. You're doing a great job.
Yeah. Way down south in Birmingham, where you go and everybody, they went there and danced all the time. It was like a hall, but that's where they made the Tuxedo Junction.
And it was a famous song.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Tuxedo Junction. That's the name of it.
And you're not going to sing it for me anymore?
No.
You were doing such a fabulous job.
Yeah, and then I lived, they had different names, part of town that you lived in Chattanooga, because I lived in Bushtown. I lived there with my oldest brother. His name was Richard Hudson. That's what my name was before my marriage name was Hudson. I was a Hudson, Hudson, Hudson. And I was there. I remember they had a flood there in Chattanooga, and but it was like where the train ran all the time. They had trains run down, but because most of all them, they had bridges. They had bridges, and the train thing, they ran up under the bridges. I didn't see no train up on the top where you know, where the people be and stuff. That they was always down on the ground. And it's like when I came here, I didn't understand. I didn't know that, like these trucks and stuff, like they be rolling on the main streets and stuff. No, they had an overpass that the trucks and stuff they deliver and all of that.
So how was it growing up in Chattanooga? You went to high school in Chattanooga?
Yeah, I went high school. I went to 2 schools in Chattanooga.
Were they both integrated or were they segregated? No. The blacks went to one school and the whites went to the other
Howard
school?
High. So and then they had a central, it was like city, and that's where most of the white, it was, because that's where that big university in Chattanooga, Tennessee, during that time, but later on, they got mixed, you know.
Right. So how was it when you were a teenager living in Chattanooga? What's some of the things that you remember you used to do as a teenager?
Going to Lincoln Park, because they had amusement park, like you could ride the horses, the merry-go-round. Because my kids read them when they were small, they used to ride the merry-go-round. They had different activities out there at Lincoln Park. And then And my father, he used to work down in Rome, Georgia, and I used to go down there with him. He used to cook. He was a cook for these white people. He used to cook. And he's had this nice big garden. And he would stay down there on a week, and he comes back home on the weekend. So I went down there with him once to see how it was.
And what do you remember? Was it a mansion, or was it just a real nice big house?
It was
How
just
was
a
it?
nice big house, and then he had where he stayed was right out from where they lived at, because he had to get up every morning and go in the big house and cook.
Oh, okay. So they had him kind of like in the servants' quarters.
Right.
Like, okay, and you stayed there with him?
I stayed there with him when I went down there and stayed that week.
And what do you remember about it? Was it real small? Was it spacious? Was it clean? What was inside of it?
The house? Oh, the house was nice. It had every thing in there. They had, because I guess they was well-to-do white people, and it was really nice. Their house was nice.
Okay,
and it was nice.
But the servants' quarters, how
It
was
was
that
nice.
too? It was nice too?
Yeah, it was
okay.
nice.
All right. And so your dad, he would cook for them, and then did he serve the food, or they had different maids to serve the food?
No, he always, after he cooked, he would always serve them, because he would set the table and everything, and he would serve their food.
So
Yeah.
did you learn how to cook from your dad?
I learned how to cook from different ones, from my brother and a sister. And before I came here, I was working in a big restaurant, James Restaurant.
And what did you do there?
I started there as a dishwasher, and I got moved up to being a cook.
Did they allow black people to serve the food there? Were they allowed to be waitresses?
We worked in the kitchen. It's like whatever food we was gonna serve on the menu, I would write the menu out, and I would call Miss James on the phone and tell her, and she would print them out and bring them down there about 11 o'clock, whatever we have it for lunch and in the evening. And we always serve fresh food. I didn't even know nothing about no canned stuff till I came here. And I was surprised to see them big old cans, because Miss James always served fresh food. He bought greens, beans, and everything fresh by the crate. And that's where he bought his meat, chicken, and stuff. And we had his name was James, but he was colored. And he did like cutting up the chickens and cutting the steaks and stuff like that. He did that.
Now, were black people allowed to eat at this restaurant, or just white people could eat at the
if
restaurant?
they wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was an
'cause
integrated restaurant.
Right. We had that lady. Everybody had different things to do, because we had a lady that worked there. She did all the cakes and pies, and she was colored, and she did all the cakes and pies. And then we had whoever worked the salad bar. They had their own thing to do, and who all stay on the steam table. We put the food out on the steam table, like greens, whatever we have for dinner, macaroni, cheese, and all of that. But we did all that cooking fresh, and it wasn't no can or box, It was really nice.
Well, Tennessee is considered a southern state,
Yeah.
where we know
But
there was
it's
a lot.
big,
But we
Chattanooga's
know,
a big place.
we know there was a lot of racism down south.
Right.
So do you remember any of that in Tennessee? Do you remember any racial tensions? Did anybody ever call you nigger? Do you remember any divisiveness or any racism at all? Do you remember any of that when you lived in Tennessee?
No, because it's like I said, it was some good, and it was some bad. But the most of them, if they didn't like you, they would let you know. You
How
know,
would they let you know?
they just wouldn't, communicate with you.
Well, would they call you nigger or boy like
No,
they did in Alabama? If
no,
you lived in
no. I ain't
Alabama?
never heard nobody didn't call me and my people. 'Cause I had sisters them that worked at the hospital, in different places.
Okay. So how
And
did
my brother,
hmm?
Richard, he worked on the railroad as a cook. But when he married, raised, he married a lady and she had 3 kids. She had 2 boys and a girl, and he helped raise them. He didn't have no kids of his own.
Okay.
He helped raise them.
So how did you meet your husband?
Uh, I met him after he got out the service.
How did you meet him? At church, or where did you meet your husband?
I met him, I'm trying to think, through some friends.
Okay.
Yes, through some friends who I was living at. I met him through some friends.
Okay.
Because I didn't go in the bars because I didn't like to drink. And when I liked to go to the park because they had dances on Mondays at the park. They had the big arena, and you go there and you could dance, and that's what I liked to do.
So what kind of music
That,
did you listen to back then? Who was some of the singers and the musicians that you used to listen to back then?
oh,
That you some of the dance music. Who did you like to dance to? What musicians?
oh, ballroom dancing and jazz. I liked the jazz.
So who was some of your favorite musicians? Duke Ellington, Count Basie. Who was some
Yeah,
of your
Cam
singers?
Basie. Yep. And I liked to do Ellington. And
Who were some of your favorite singers?
Ella.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Right. Yeah, I liked her.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did any of those stars ever come through Tennessee?
Yeah,
Did you happen to see any of them?
Yeah, they came. We had a big auditorium. And that's when I came here. I missed it. I didn't know they didn't have no auditorium. You had to go to Youngstown. I didn't know all of that. We had a big auditorium and singers and on like around Christmas time, the roller skaters would come at the auditorium, and we'd be busy trying to get off from work so we could go that night to see the roller skater and wrestling. I like the wrestling too. We just go to see that, but we be at work, we be try to hurry up and leave work. And I worked, because I have worked in the Reed House, that's a big hotel in Chattanooga. And then I used to work at one hotel that they had a laundry part, because I used to work down in that laundry. And I used to drive the elevator. I learned how to drive the elevator. And I used to do waitress job at W.T. Grant's. And when I came here, they had a W.T. Grant here when I came to one on Market Street.
So when you worked at the W.T. Grant in Tennessee,
I worked behind the counter. I had customers. I worked behind the counter.
And black people was allowed to eat there. They was allowed to eat there.
Yeah, 'cause it was like a store you could come and buy.
Right. I remember W.T. Grant.
Right, you could buy clothes and stuff like that, you know. But they had a counter, and you would have your own section, and all that worked behind the counter was black.
Okay, but I mean the people that ate there. A
Yeah,
black person could just walk in the store and sit down anywhere they want and eat.
at W.T. Grant.
Wow,
When I was
okay.
working at W.T. Grant.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So how did you end up in fabulous Warren, Ohio?
I came one Ohio. My husband came first, and he was working for W.B. Gibson Construction, and it's like I came in September, and then it was bad. I mean, it was snow. Every time I turned around, it was snowing. So he got laid off because the construction didn't do too good uh, when the weather was bad, and so I went to work. Like I came in September, and I went to work in November at the laundry up on High Street. I worked for Rapid Laundry.
And what did you do there?
I work on the press with church. We did church. That's what we did at that laundry. We didn't do no other clothes. We did church. Hmm. Miss Mary Lou Lyons used to work there, and Alice Cobb. Her name was Alice Cobb, and it was what was that other lady name?
So this was about a 1957 or something like that when you came here, because you said artist was two.
I came in September in '57.
So was it hard for a black person to get a job?
No, not because I was like we lived down on, my sister-in-law used to live down on Cedar Street.
And that was the flats, right?
Right.
They call that the flat. And
Yeah,
describe that. How, the flat. Describe that, yeah.
Paul Warfield lived down there.
My mother and her family lived down there.
He was a paper boy. He was our paper boy. I stayed down there we stayed down there with my sister-in-law, and then we got a couple of rooms on Pine Street, right across from the International and Republican.
And what was the International and the Republican? What were those?
Republican, you see them men going back and forth, them work all different shifts, down the Republican. And International, and it was a store next to the International.
So these are bars? Are they bars?
Yeah, International was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was a grocery store next to the International. But that's where a lot of the men went and cashed their checks at the International.
Mm-hmm. So if you could paint a picture for me of what it was like down there. There were bars. Tell me, was it bars down there, stores? Was it a pool hall? Tell me what it was like down there.
Beasley's pool room was on Pine Street, and they had Mary. It was a restaurant, and then they had another. It was that Pine Street Hotel was down there in the flat, and the Romania Hall was down on Walter Street.
And so this is where most of the black people live when they migrated to Warren, right?
Yeah.
In that area, the flats.
Right,
okay.
Because the Reeds and all of them stayed down there in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
Because and then another thing, I didn't know that school that used to be on the Park Avenue, I thought it was school, and that was the Elks. But I thought it was a school, and my landlady, she took me, Selma, she took me there, and she said, "Come on, we're going to the Elks." And I said, "The Elks?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "You got a key?" Because in Chattanooga, the Elks, if you belong to you couldn't go to the F's unless you had a key, and you had to use that key to get in the F's. Either American Legion. You even had to have a key to get in the American Legion. And that's mean I didn't know you didn't have to have all of that to go in the places, you know. And then the Top Hatters was on Pine Street. Yeah, the Top Hatters was on Pine Street. And we used to go skating down to Rebecca on Tuesday nights. And I liked that. We would go down there and skate. And then we also would, not only that, we went to Youngstown and Newcastle and skate.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, when
but
you
down in the flat down on Cedar Street, it was the dump. So would right off from Cedar Street, you could see it, you know, and but the people that lived down there was nice. Yeah, they was nice and friendly, and it's like I said, Paul Warfield and his parents and things lived down there, and cause he used to be our paper boy. Mm-hmm. Paul did, and he really didn't want to be no football player. He wanted to be a baseball player. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you used to see him playing outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day he would be outside, cause my kids would be outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you got a job working at a laundry, and so how long did you work that job?
Oh, I worked at the Rapid. I quit Rapid and went, after I left Rapid, we moved because when we left up and down in the flat, I just had moved up and down there when the flood came. We just had moved to 1900 Niles Road.
And tell me about the flood. I heard about it. Tell me about
it.
Oh,
it was bad. It was cold and everything was froze. And Mr. Robert Stewart and his wife lived downstairs, and we lived upstairs on Niles Avenue. And both of us just had moved off of Pine Street to Niles Avenue because they was living downstairs, Mr. Robert and Louise, his wife was named Louise, and we stayed upstairs. And artists used to say, where do you live, baby? 1900 Niles Road.
Oh, wow. So that was a big move from you, moving from the flats to a home, because most of the black people had to move to the Benton homes.
Well, we did. We lived in the old Highland Terrace. It wasn't no Terrace, Highland homes.
Right.
We lived in the whole Highland homes because I used to be have a group of girls to cook, and I was in the 4-H club because we won a prize one year for 4-H club for cooking.
So tell me about that. How did you get involved with that?
What the 4-H club? I was just like I said, was living in the old Highland home, and I used to go down to the office, and we used to have meetings down there. And then we had to move when they got ready to tear down, so they could rebuild the Highland home. And the street where we live in, they started tearing down back towards Second Baptist Church. We had to move, and the ones that were living up towards Highland Street, they were still over here. So we moved from there to Valley Street and out off of 7th. And we moved Valley Street, and we stayed there about a year, and then we moved to the Ridge home. And because we was out there when they built JFK School. It wasn't nothing but woods back there when we moved there. And we stayed there. And when they got the place ready, Highland Terrace ready, we moved back to the east side, the west side, because I didn't care nothing about the east side no way. I was always scared of Hal Napoleons and all them different bars, Mary's Inns and all of that. I was always scared of them because somebody was always getting killed every week or getting cut or something.
So these were bars that the mafia owned, right?
Down in the flats.
Mm-hmm.
No, down in the flats.
Okay. Oh, all right.
But I don't know whether the mafia on Niles Avenue, but it was a lot of their bars was white.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, tell me how did you get started with the 4-H club? You ladies used to have meetings at the Highland Homes, and so did somebody from the 4-H club come and give a presentation and told you about this cooking contest? How did that evolve?
Oh, no, I started the cooking class I got a bunch of girls, and I asked them did they want to cook. And they said, yes, so we used to have meetings. And I learned them how to make different things.
Like what?
Macaroni and cheese and greens and all Southern food.
So is there one type of food that you're known for that everybody just loves? Something that you cooks? Is there something in particular? Your macaroni and cheese, your greens, your cornbread?
Yeah, and pasta salad.
Oh, and everybody loves your pasta salad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And chili. Because I make reds that they not used to that kind of chili. I makes my chili and I always put hot dogs in.
And where did you get that from?
Huh?
Where did you get that from?
I learned that on my own when I was in Tennessee, living in Chattanooga.
And what else? What else?
In the project.
And what else do you put in there besides the hot dogs and your chili?
Oh, I put onion, bell pepper, and I put celery and garlic, and I let it cook with my meat, my ground chuck and stuff. I let it cook, and then I opened up a can of tomatoes, and I mashed them tomatoes up so they won't be in chunks, and I mashed them up and I put that in and let it cook with that. Simmer, just let it simmer, and then I take it and I used tomato soup in my chili.
Oh, you're making me hungry, Mrs. Battle. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I make like a lot of people make different ways, but I make it with tomato soup.
Oh, that just sounds so delicious. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, I make it with tomato soup.
So
and I put the hot dogs in there when it's almost done, and then I take and crumble some spaghetti up in it. Break some spaghetti up in it.
Oh, that just sounds so unique. So what food item did you all cook for the 4-H club when you want some type of
cake?
A cake?
We make a cake out of that old supply food that the government was giving you, like that butter, the flour, and all that. We made it out of that.
And what kind of cake was it?
A peanut butter.
A peanut butter cake? You won a contest with a peanut butter cake?
With the icing and all.
Wow. And so you all...
And took it to the fair.
I was just getting ready to say, you took it to the Trimble County Fair.
Yeah, that's where we took it and made and got a ribbon.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, I have some pens I'll show you when we finish. That gold writing pen that I got from the 4-H.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so, go ahead.
And then I also worked at for Fanny's lunchroom on West Market Street. It was right down from the Union Hall and Sleep Rights.
Oh,
I used
okay.
to work there until she closed it. That went out of business.
So, did you used to go to the movie theaters here in Warren?
Yeah, I went and
Okay. Was black people allowed to sit with the white people early on?
it was what was they sitting upstairs? Yeah.
Okay.
Then later.
Right. Well, was it like that in Tennessee? Was the black people allowed to sit with the white people in Tennessee?
Not all the theaters. It's certain theaters. They had black theaters too.
Oh, they did? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Just like they had black bars
Mm-hmm.
and they had black whiskey stores.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had black banks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, when you came here again, you said it was because your husband got a job in construction. And so, do you remember him talking about any type of discrimination he faced in the workplace at all, or?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because when they work construction, they be mixed
Mm-hmm.
when they be working construction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And my brother-in-law, he the one got him the job at
Okay.
W.B. Gibson.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he worked until he left and moved to Cleveland.
Oh, your brother-in-law?
And his wife, my sister-in-law Irene, her name was Irene.
And what was their last name?
Brassfield. Brassfield.
Oh, okay. So tell me about your church life. I know you've been a member at Grace AME. How many members? How many years?
Oh, I've been at Grace over 20-some years.
Okay.
But before I came here, I was going to Tucker Baptist. I was a Baptist when I was down south. I was going to Tucker Baptist.
And so I know you're very active in your church. What's some of the things that you do at your church?
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I worked in kitchen,
Okay.
and I work on different other things because I belong to the missionary.
And what's some of the things that the missionary does at your church?
Oh, we have a different, we give away food, we give away clothes, we give away different things the missionary do. We used to give this school down,
Jefferson?
yeah, we used to get them gloves and all different stuff like that every year. But Reverend Joe, he took that over, so we decided that give it to somebody else, because he started giving them a lot of different things, and
Right.
one used to know too, giving that, that
Right.
same school,
Right, believers.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because that's where my son and his wife go. George
Oh,
they
okay.
go to the Believer.
Well, I was just getting ready to ask you to tell me about your kids. How many kids do you have? And
I
tell me
have
their
4.
names.
I have 4 boys. My oldest son is named George Bryant because I was married to his father. His father was named Raymond Bryant. He's passed. And my next son is Charles Ballard. He's a minister. He's in Atlanta. And then it was Roland, and he's a barber. Everybody know Red.
Everybody knows
I don't
Red.
think nobody in Warren don't know Red.
That's right.
And Otis, we used to call him, and but most of everybody used to call Red all around man, because they said you might see Red walking on this side of town. You turn around and look, he's on the other side of town. And they started calling him all around man.
Oh, that's a good name for him.
Right. But they all seem to be nice and doing well regardless of their mind, but they still they like people. They love people. They like to take up with people and talk to people. And artists like to play drums, which he's trying to wean off from playing drums. He plays bass now. And so he worked at General Motors, and he retired from General Motors. Red worked at General Motors, and he left General Motors. That's when he went to Chicago, and he went to Barbara up there in Chicago, and he got his license and everything when he came back. And George was in New York, and he wanted to come back to live here. And he was working maintenance in New York. That whole big building where they lived at, he did the maintenance. And so that's what he retired from.
How many grandchildren do you have?
Oh, Lord. I know. I can't get them together. We was out to George the other day, and I was asking them about the grandkids, because I got grandkids and great-great-grandkids, and it's a bunch of them. I'm telling you. George have most of the grandkids, because Red just have two boys and a girl. And I just got two boys. Yeah, he got two boys and a girl. Two girls. He goes, his youngest daughter right there on that picture. Her name is Megan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you have so many grands and great-grands and great-great-grands that you lost track.
I sure have. I sure have. I told them they're going to have to write that down on paper so I know how many are. Because I got Red's son is getting married next Saturday. And he's getting married, him and his wife. His name is Little Roland II. Her name is Hope. So she's his school sweetheart. They went to school together.
That's beautiful. That's
so they'll get married next Saturday.
Beautiful.
We'll go here. We'll leave here next Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where's the wedding?
It's close to Cleveland. It's up toward Cuyahoga Falls, up that way.
So it's not too far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure you're just going to be so pretty. What are your beauty secrets? Because you do not look 93 years old.
Well, one thing, I don't wear no makeup. I never did like makeup when I was coming up. My brother, that he raised those three kids, his stepdaughter, she liked it when we was going to school. She liked it, makeup. She would put all that stuff on it. And I used to look at her, and I used to call them pancake. I said, that old powder, old pancake powder. That's what I used to call it. And she'd be all rouged up going to school.
And so you've never worn makeup.
Mm-mm.
So you think that's why you look so young?
I don't know, but I always have used and that's what I use now. I use moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
But then back then I used to use just regular Vaseline.
Because your skin is so beautiful.
Yeah, doctor asked me, Ramona and Dr. Chef asked me why was my skin so smooth and soft, my body skin, because I still use Vaseline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, with vitamin E.
Oh, that's your secret. Okay. And I see you have some weights in the back. You still exercise, huh?
Right.
Okay. What kind of exercises do you do at the age of 93?
Sometimes I get on my exercise bike, exercise bike.
Okay. And so, were you
When I
all?
be looking at my story TV.
Yeah. So, were you always athletic even as a girl?
Yeah, I used to play ball.
Okay. What kind of
I used
ball?
to play basketball. I used to play softball.
Oh, so you've
Hmm.
always been athletic.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your secret to looking
I
so
played
young and
softball for
beautiful.
the Lincoln Cafe and Kellis Cafe in Chattanooga. I played for different restaurants.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the Negro League at all? Baseball, the Negro League. Do you remember that at all?
Uh, yeah, I remember when they used to talk about Sasha Page. I remember when I used to hear my family them talk about Sasha Page.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I remember they used to have Negro League teams in Chattanooga. So I was
Right.
wondering if you remembered seeing any of them.
Uh, one of them was named the Tennessee. What was one of them was named Tennessee? I forget the other part, but I know.
But you remember that they were
Yeah,
there.
the baseball diamond. Because we used to, when we lived on Third Street, the ball field was right across. We lived like on that side of the street, and across from it was a street, and then on that side they had a big baseball field, and it was fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, when the circus came to town, that's where they would be. The circus, we used to live at 110 Wheel Street, and that's where that's where the circle came in on the railroad, and we would sit on our porch and see them when they unload the elephants and all that. We would see them when they unload, and then that day, that after they get through unloading, they be putting up them tents and stuff. Then they have a parade later on down Market Street in Chattanooga.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Right, and then they would march from Market and come down Hampton and go all the way down to the stadium,
Wow.
down Third Street. The street was named Third Street. They come down and go to and take the animals and stuff to the where they supposed to be.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
So, what university is in Chattanooga? I don't remember the name of it.
Uh,
Is it
Uni-
University of Tennessee
yeah.
or?
Yeah.
Okay.
University of Tennessee. Mhm.
Okay, so when you lived there, do you remember, was it a lot of black people that attended there? Do you remember? Or did you remember them having black professors or anything like that?
No, but they had a lot of black school teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the South traditionally turned out most of the black school
Yeah, because
teachers.
my science teacher, he was a man.
Mm-hmm. And you
And
had
he was-
you had a black science teacher as a child.
And I had a black geography teacher too. She was a lady.
Wow, I never had a black teacher at all until I
Really?
went to college.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, is there anything else that you remember, or anything else that you want to say, or I got one more question to ask you. Did you have any role models or mentors or anybody who inspired you in your life?
When I was coming up,
Anytime, when you was a
Oh.
child, as an adult, anybody that just really inspired you that you looked up to.
oh, it was it was a lot of different people because it was a lady named Miss Felita Buggs, and she used to take me. I was living with my oldest brother, and she used to take me out of town with her. I had been to Toledo, Ohio, with her 2 or 3 times. I was like, she would always take me different places, and I liked it her, and because she was good.
She was kind of like a second mother to you?
Uh-huh. Yeah, she was really good. She was some relation to my brother's wife. And they was good friends because they used to be together. You know, they might not been no relation, but they used to associate together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to take me a lot of different places,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wish that they had left me in Indianapolis, Indiana. I liked it in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Why? Why did you like it there?
Because I guess because my uh, she was my father's niece, so that would have been my cousin, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And she had a daughter, and they was really good to me. And she had a sister too. My cousin, she had a sister,
Mm-hmm.
and they was good, and I liked them,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to tell them all the time I wish they had left me there in Indianapolis, Indiana.
So you were really blessed, Mrs. Battle, because you said your mom died when you were 16 months.
Mm-hmm.
How did she die? Do you know?
Uh,
Childbirth? Or...
I think it wasn't too long after. I think she got sick after she had me. Mm-hmm.
Well, but you were so blessed because you had family members who took you in.
Yeah, but just like I said, it's a lot of people that I stayed and raised me. It wasn't even no kin to me.
Is that right?
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it sure was.
Mm-hmm. Do you still
And they was nice.
do you still keep in touch with any of them or any of
They
their
done
kids,
passed.
any of their kids or anything like that?
And all of them that had me, they done passed.
Right.
And I don't know what happened to the
Mm-hmm.
kids. And a lot of them didn't even have any kids, you know.
Wow. So you just always had angels watching over you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Right. And then when I came here, I met friends.
Mm-hmm.
But my dear friend was Ruth Greenlee.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Me and her, we went everywhere together. If you see one, you see the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't care because this church down here, is that James, St. James?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have this singing up up there to the
Packer
Packer
Music
Music
Hall?
Hall all the time. And one year it was snowing so bad, and Ruth called me. She said, "Hon," because I always call her baby, and she called me Hon. She said, "Hon, you still want to go?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't know." I said, "Getting bad." She said, "Oh, it ain't gonna be that bad." And she said, "You still want to go?" I said, "Do you want to go?" She said, "Yeah." So we went, and it was snowing so hard. I'm telling you, we laughed about it. And Gloria said, her daughter, Gloria said, she looked up, because we didn't even know somebody, they had took our picture where we were sitting. We didn't know the tribute had took our picture. And she said, on the 11 o'clock news, she said, "Oh my God, that Mom Mabel and Mom." Out in all this bad weather.
Oh, wow.
But we had a good time. And that's how I joined the missionary.
Okay, through Miss Ruth.
Yeah, and working in the kitchen too, because somebody was supposed to bring somebody. She said, "No, I'm going to bring Mabel." And so she did. She told me, she said, "I took your name so you can work in the kitchen." And so we had a good time when she was living, we were working in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked in the kitchen after that, but it wasn't like when she was working in the kitchen.
So how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered, and I want all my young friends that I had looked and did for when they was coming up, like Macmillan kids, K. Hall kids, Bernetta Williams kids, child, and all of them. I want them to really remember me, and because Lucinda Moss, she's passed, but I used to do her sister's hair. She was blind, and I used to do her hair. I used to do a lot of different people's hair, and that's when I moved over here. And a lot of people remember me, cause one lady named Bobby Blakely, and she asked me, Maples. She didn't never call me Maples. She called me Maples. She said, Maples, you still do hair? I said,
Oh, I see. I didn't know you used to do hair.
I used to love to do hair because I used to keep Red's daughter, the Aqua, and I would comb her hair. But I had a sister had 2 girls, and that's when George was born, and I used to, and they was working, and I would do their hair.
So did you go to school to learn how to do hair, or you just taught yourself?
I taught myself. I taught myself how to do a lot of stuff.
Like
iron. What? I sure did. I taught myself a lot of stuff. I taught myself mostly how to read, because I got an encyclopedia. That's mean I got one for my kids. Make sure that they have it, so they could, I learned how to, separate them words and then put them together. And so that's where I learned my kids, and I always did like math and geography and Bible and all that. And I taught myself a lot of different things.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I taught myself, especially in the reading. And it's like Gloria Grace, she said, don't think you go, and my daughter-in-law, Chanel, she said, don't be thinking that my mother-in-law, because she old, she can't keep up with nothing. She can keep up with her money better than you can.
Oh, wow. I just love it. I love it.
Because I write everything down so I can make sure that I got a composition book. It's like when I pay my bills and stuff, I write it down in there, I subtract it, and then I add it back to see is that right. I does all of that.
That is beautiful.
And it's like when I call the bank to see about my checking account, I always have my little figures down there, so if she says something ain't right, I say, hey, this ain't what I got. I said, this ain't what I got. I said, and you start up a little further and come on down. I said, and so she said, and I gave her the last number of my check, what I done wrote out. She said, yeah. I said, that's the last one, ain't it? She said, yeah. I said, okay, now, you get it together, because I got it together, so now you can see, sometimes they laugh at me when I call them.
Oh, that is so cute. That is awesome.
So that's the main thing. I'm so glad the Lord blessed me that I got in my right mind, that I can pay my own bills, my utilities and stuff, and keep up with what I got.
That is a blessing. Okay, one last question. If you could give a message to young girls, what would you say to young girls? If you could give them advice, what advice would you give to young girls?
The real young ones, I would tell them to pray and listen to their parents, and quit trying to run over their parents and tell their parents what to do instead of listening to what the parents said, and try to learn different things to do. Just like I used to tell my kids, is no, and they can tell you too, ain't no such thing, can't. I should tell mine, erase that. It's not no word I seen in the book said you can't. You can do I used to tell mine, you can do anything you want to do and be anything you want to if you try. That's right. You got to try. And I used to tell mine, if you don't want to do what I said, you rather do what I said do than let the white people tell you what to do. So.
Listen to your mother.
Right.
Listen
right.
to your mother.
And older peoples too. I always told my kids to respect older people. And they do. Otis even still said yes ma'am and no ma'am. He do. He said yes ma'am. They got mad at him on the job. One of his co-workers, which he was white, and Otis said sir to him, and he wanted to know how come he said sir. You don't have to say no sir to me. Otis said I wasn't brought up that way. I was brought up to respect older people, regardless of what. And that is right. And you go a long way if you respect people. But these kids now, they don't want to respect people.
Mm-mm.
And they got to respect people. That's the reason they get in so much trouble, because they don't respect nobody. They don't want to listen to nobody. They want to tell you what to do. No, it ain't going to be like that. It ain't going to work like that. So you better listen.
Amen.
That's right.
Oh, wow. This was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, that was so